Hello students, good morning. Today I am going to teach you Hornbill's second chapter, We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together. It is written by Gordon Cook and Alan East. Students, this is the story of courage and optimism. In this story I am going to tell you how a family completed its sea voyage around the world. Students, here I have inserted an image in which all parts of a boat are mentioned. It is necessary for you to see and learn it, because in the story I am going to tell you about the major parts of the ship. So it is better for you to have knowledge of it. So please study this image. Students, the story We Are Not Afraid to Die is a story of courage, skill that has been shown by Gordon Cook, his family, and two crewmen. They did water with the water, and they also fought a lot with the waves for their survival. Students, their purpose was to make duplicate journey that has been made 200 years earlier by Captain James Cook. This they started in the month of July 1976. The narrator Gordon Cook, his wife, the name of his wife is Mary. Another was that their son, that's name was Jonathan, and daughter Susanna. These four persons set sail from Plymouth, England, and their purpose was to duplicate the round the world voyage, and that originally was made 200 years earlier by a captain that's name was James Cook. They also did a lot of preparation for this. They made a boat that's name is Wave Walker, and they made it very much professionally. They also accompanied by two very much experienced sailor. Their name was Larry Wiesel, who was an American, and Herb Segler, who was a Swiss. They were accompanied by them because they were very much expert sailors, and they can tackle one of the world's roughest sea, and that is the southern Indian Ocean. Students, now I am going to tell you about the first part of the journey. The first part of the journey, that was 1,05,000 kilometers. It was up to the Cape Town, and that has been smoothly done. There has not been any problem. There has not been any adversity. So this part of journey has been completed very nicely. But after that, what is going on? The next phase of journey is not an easy one. It is very difficult. It is very challenging, because sea journey itself is a challenging, because we do not know what may come the next moment. So on the second day out of Cape Town, what happened? They began to encounter strong gales. Strong gales means strong waves, strong gust of wind. No problem, because strong gales, strong wind, that that is usually they were habitual of, because they have also earlier before starting the journey, they have also practiced a lot. They have also test their boat Wave Walker in the roughest weather that may be available near them. So they were not very much worried. But They were, what was alarming, what was dangerous? Dangerous was the size of the waves, because the waves that were started facing, they were higher up to the meter 15, up to the 15 meters high, and this height was equal to the height of main mast. Next, after that, what happened on 25th December? On 25th December, the Writer ship was in the southern Indian Ocean, 3,500 kilometers to the east of Cape Town. 25th December, as you know, students, that this is which festival is? Yes, it is Christmas Day, and it is one of the most important festival for them. So what happened? That family also celebrated their new year on board the ship. After 25th December, in coming 5 6 days up to the 31st December and 1st January, these are all the days of celebration, because this is their last week and they usually used to celebrate it. Now the new year came, and this new year was not very happy for them in the beginning, because as at the dawn of 2nd January, what happened on 2nd January? The waves were gigantic, because they were already started facing big waves. They were already started facing from 25th of December what strong gales, but 4 or 5 6 days that has been as continuous, but as the 2nd January came, what happened? The waves were gigantic. Gigantic means very much weak, very terrific. Weather also changed, very much unfriendly. So what happened then? That sailors slow down the speed of their boat and drop storm jeep. And they also storm jeep. The jeep is a kind of a strong cloth, strong canvas type that they ply on the mast for the, so that there can be a pressure of wind for the movement of the boat. So they also drop the storm jeep. After that, you can see that the danger that they were facing was very much clear, and they understand that their coming time is very much crucial. It is very dangerous. So, whatever lifeline attachment they have, they applied for it. They also put on life jackets. They also tied themselves with the lifelines, just like ropes. Means all sorts of security precautions that they can take, that they were able to arrange at the time. They arrange it, and on 2nd January, what happened? Suddenly at 6 p.m., suddenly at 6 o'clock in the evening, a tremendous explosion shook the wake buffer. A very heavy, a very gigantic wave clashed with the boat wave walker, and this jerk that was created. So what happened? The author was thrown over the board. This stroke was so heavy that the ship was about to turn over. When another very much gigantic wave hit it, so the ship tossed up once again, and the author was thrown back onto the deck, his head and ribs smashing against the wall. Author was again thrown back onto the deck, his head smashed with the wheels. Ribs were also smashed, broken. His mouth was filled with the blood and broken teeth. In spite of injuries, the narrator took charge of the situation, but he was not afraid of the situation. He did not collapse. He did not felt that he did not become pessimistic. He took charge of the situation. He took command of the situation. With full courage, he tried to handle the situation. Anyhow, he captured the wheels, lined up the stem for the next wave, and hung it on After that, what happened? Mary also appeared. Mary, author's wife, appeared, and he took the charge of the wheel. After that, what happened, students? Larry and her, they were the crewmen. They started, and you, as you know very well, that as the wave hit, so the boat has been a lot, major part of the boat has been damaged. When the boat damaged, as you know, it was in the sea, it was in the ocean, so water started coming in, and when the sufficient amount of water would have come in, then what will happen? The boat will sink down in the ocean. So the first thing is that whatever water has come inside, that should be pumped out. So Larry and Herb started pumping out water, and this process they started just like a madman. The whole sideboard side was inward, and with the stroke of wind, as the gigantic waves hit it, so the side of the sideboard of the ship bulged inside. After that, narrator also worked very much hard to save the life of his family. What he did, he managed to cover canvas across the gaps. Whatever gap, whatever holes, whatever part of the ship was broken, he covered it to prevent water from entering the ship. And in this way, he became successful in preventing the water. That day's complete night, entire night, what they did, they have been pumping water out, steering the ship, repairing the broken part, damaged part, and sending radio signals. After that, narrator also tried to find out their location. So he checked charts and calculated that the Isle Amsterdam, a French scientific base, was their only hope. There is, in this limitless, illimited ocean, there was nothing that they can reach, because if they are going to reach Australia, it is far, far away. So what is there? What is the nearest point? What is the nearest part of Earth? What is the nearest part of land on which they can land? And that was the Isle Amsterdam. Sue and John were injured. Their children were also injured, because as the ship was hit by strong waves, so it was almost turnovers. In this way, Sue and John also, their head, their body also smashed, so they were also injured. But when their father came, narrator came to their cabin, opened the gate, and asked to the children that how are they. The children replied that they are safe, and they also said that they are not afraid to die if they can all be together. If they all can be together, they are not afraid to die. If their mummy, papa, brother, and sister, they are all together, they are not afraid to die. Sue's head was swollen and she had a deep injury. Though the children were also wounded, Sue's head was swollen because there was a bump and there was a deep injury. After coming to know children's courage, after coming to know that their son and daughter are so courageous, this courage boosts up energy in narrator, and he become determined to fight with the sea. After that, anyhow, they managed to reach Isle Amsterdam, a volcanic island where they were welcomed by 28 inhabitants. And there they welcomed by 28 inhabitants, and for many days this was the first time that they felt land under their feet. So students, this is a story of collective strength, teamwork, optimism, which has been very nicely presented by sailors, by Arthur himself, by his wife, and don't let spirit that has been sown by the children. And you come to know that how they all came out of the jaws of death. Students, the courage, forbearance, faith, and optimism gave extra strength and persistence to the narrator and his team. In this story, the bravery of the strong willed children is noteworthy in the story. Students, what is the moral of this story? Moral of this story is what the point that you people may learn it. The points of learning for you are this: that if you have courage, that if you have forbearance, that if you have a skill, that if you have a dauntless spirit, nothing is impossible in this world for you. If you are determined, everything is for you. Students, the things are difficult for you, the things are impossible for you when you are weak for your attempt. If you are strong for your attempt, then everything is weak for you. Whatever coming in your way, it means you have the power to overcome it. Students, in class 9 there is a poem that is Wind. In this poem, what happens? A strong wind is enemy and friend. Enemy to the weak persons and friend to the strong ones. Challenges which are coming in your life, adverse situations which are coming in your life, if you are weak, they are your enemies. If you are strong, they are your friend. You know, students, a gust of wind is enemy to a candle. That is, an infirm flame is, weak flame is burning. If a gust of wind will come, it will blown out. But a gust of wind is a friend to the strong fire, because as the gust of wind will touch it, it will enrage more and more. So students, the situation, the conditions depends upon your capability. If you are capable, if you are stronger, then even the adverse and difficult situation will be your friend, and they will be helpful you rather than harmful to you. So this is what the theme and this is the message of this chapter. Students, this is very necessary for you to learn. I hope the chapter is clearly understood to you. Do not forget to subscribe our channel and to press the bell icon. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you in the next video.